seriously just a normal person. As I can't emphasize this enough, a normal person. I'm kind of just a normal person. A lot of other normal people like me. I am a normal person. I'm a normal person. I'm kind of just a dude. I was just your average apolitical citizen. So back to my point. I'm a normal person. Please, normal people. Because we're just people. I am seriously just a normal person. As I can't emphasize this enough, a normal person.
I don't know if it's far-fetched to ask, but Russian actor could be continuing to fuel things as this protest grows, but perhaps even instigating it from the outset.
Although it may take several decades for the process of transformation to unfold, combat will likely take place in new dimensions, in space, cyberspace, and perhaps the world of microbes. Space itself will become a theater of war as nations gain access to space capabilities and come to rely on them. Further, the distinction between military and commercial space systems, combatants and non-combatants, will become blurred. Information systems will become an important focus of attack, particularly for U.S. enemies seeking to short-circuit sophisticated American forces, and advanced forms of biological warfare that can target specific genotypes may transform biological warfare from the realm of terror to a politically useful tool.
Let's get ready to spread 'em!
All right, let's get ready to spread them, eh? We're back. YouTube kicked us out for a whole week for daring to upload that video on ArcMedit's blog that we made. Didn't even get up on the channel, and they banned us for a whole week. They've let us back, and over there, that this stream is called "Trudeau is awesome. Vaccines are safe and effective." And you're right, YouTube. We were wrong. We see the light now. We're voting liberal for life, and we've seen the error of our ways. Thank you very much. We got a good little show tonight. It's going to be tight, but it's going to be all right. We will be debuting publicly the latest, we're going to call it the Spread It, the Spreader Edit, which I've taken it upon myself to find cool articles, cool streams of information that get thrown at me, and in a day, quickly pump out a video version of it. And the ArcMedit version, the ArcMedit video was the first one that I made of that. If you haven't seen that, head over to Rumble and check that out, because obviously it ain't on YouTube. And there's our username over there. Guess what? Rumble.com user super spreaders over there. That picked up great attention from the medical community on Twitter and got up to 2,000 views in 3 days over the holidays, which for us, a pretty big deal, you know. So no Zexy Lee video got up to 15 grand, but that took about half a year. Whereas this one's already damn near 3,000 views now. So that's the first Spread It. And with the second one is based off of Twitter's Blue Canaries, who is a renowned researcher, makes excellent long threads on things. And this one is on Metabiota, the bizarre company that seems to research viruses and sell insurance against them, that is funded by Hunter Biden's finance team and some other doctors who became prevalent during COVID, with absolutely bizarre ties to the Ukraine and the government and the military, and woo. That one's been up now for 3 days on our new locals, the address you see at the bottom. What we're going to do is make the Spread It's exclusive for a few days over on locals, where members can view that early. And then after a few days, we're going to put the Rumble link up for everyone. Tonight, speaking of Rumble, tonight we're going to be doing the Viva Pri model. We're going to go for a bit. We're going to say hi to our guest tonight, bring him on, say hi. Then we're going to shut down YouTube and stick with Rumble, Twitter, Facebook for now, and Twitch, and keep it up there, because some of those platforms let you say whatever. Some of them don't seem to be as aggressive with their takedowns. For instance, JJ Cooey is doing very well as Giga Ohm over on Twitch. They're desperate over there to make money, so I guess they're a little slower to kick people off. In other news as well, kids, we got merch. I'm going to bring up that merch page for you. We're getting ready here, guys. We're getting ready for the future. We don't expect a million people to head over to locals or pick up merch yet. But then again, we don't expect you not to either. Look at this stuff. Beautiful. Freedom Convoy trucker hat of truth. I got the orange one on order. We got coffee mugs. We got t-shirts, hoodies, designer hats. Let's go. Let's spread it. And what other news we got for you? We got locals. We got the merch. Let's show some support. I would love to get a little thing on locals going, because, hey, you know what? I do all right in life, but these those are from big contract film edits and recording productions that take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and Super Spreaders takes no less time or effort, but it's my time and Rain's time. If we can get these videos just generating, whatever, some rent or bill money, it changes the game, and I can put out 3 of these a week instead of 1. So I'd love you guys to come over and join us on Locals, sign up for the minimum, and pay for my coffee while I edit. Tonight we have with us tonight a legal headhunter who's become a bit of a patent expert, somewhat like David Martin, and he's onto some interesting stuff. We've gotten together on this group over on Twitter that has done amazing things. It's where I found both the threads for tonight's video that would be premiering and Archmedic's It Doesn't Matter video. Were both presented to me by people in this group in Twitter, run by the fabulous Wogpog, fellow Canadian on Twitter, is bringing everyone together, aggressively trying to get everyone together to share information and be a united front, which is really great to see. It's what we need. And brought to my attention was one Geoffrey Wexler, who is gathering information and having very interesting interactions, shall we say, with high-level lawyers involving patents. It's a very interesting situation. It's still somewhat new to us, but it involves scary patents. If anyone's seen any of the big couple of documentaries that came out over the last couple of years about COVID and the pandemic, you'll have seen David Martin, the guy with the bow tie, telling us all about these patents that came out years, decades before COVID that were related to them. And Jeff can help shed a bit of light on that. Jeff is in the south of the America, Carolinas region, and has had a very interesting career. Legal headhunter, that must be a heck of a job. Let's bring Jeff on and find out. Hey, Jeff, how are you?
I'm doing well, Jay. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man. It's really appreciate you coming on. Sorry you couldn't meet Rain. Rain is my partner on the channel. We built the channel together. He's up in the Yukon territories. You know where that is?
Okay.
You know where that is?
Some province of Canada, maybe.
Alaska. Think Alaska. It touches Alaska.
Gotcha.
He's right on top of the earth.
My geography is not what.
That's all right, man.
Yeah, that's not my thing.
I only ask just because I'm curious. I'm curious who has heard of the Yukon and who hasn't. So,
not this guy.
Jeff, give us a real brief rundown of what your career is and what kind of sticky situation you got yourself into.
Definitely. So I am a legal recruiter, headhunter. You might hear that. I run my own agency, so I get to kind of move around some of the mover and shaker. Some luminous lawyers, you would say, the higher end lawyers. So they're not doing as much kind of criminal and divorce as much as they're doing kind of banking and finance and intellectual property. That's kind of the areas that I focus in on, more sophisticated, higher end practice groups. And
right. Might I ask, how do you get into that?
It's a sales job. My sisters are both pharmaceutical reps. I'm not a cute girl, so I kind of went into. I was doing internet advertising, sponsored link sales for a while, and then I got into recruiting. And then I branched off. I actually turned the recruiting, general staffing into a legal. We got more narrow. And then during the pandemic, usually when commissions change and sales structures change, it's not for the better of the sales commissionable rep. So with everything going on in hiring in 2000 and being in the hiring industry, it was a good time to kind of start my own thing, so to speak. So that's kind of 2020. is when I branched off into my own staffing agency.
Okay, cool. So let's get up. So you're hiring lawyers to do work for companies and other lawyers and yada yada. Where does the tail get sticky?
Yeah, so I really got narrow into the top like 100 law firms. So firms are doing outsourced legal work. So I'm not doing more companies. I start to leverage firms that I had relationships at the agency level when I was working for someone. So I'd had kind of lawyers in the seat, so to speak. So the firm that started, there was like a hiring freeze. Nobody was hiring in 2020. And the first firm to start hiring, that was a deal gone wrong or right.
Ooh.
You know, I think there's a big puppet master out there, because what happens was I ended up doing about 3 months of work at multiple layers of attorneys for them. And then all of a sudden, I got a call back. They wanted to interview one of my top attorneys. He was perfect for them. He was actually coming from the same firm as the head partners who were at that law firm. So it was like moving peanut butter to the jelly, Coke to Pepsi. It was like the perfect recruit. But I had about,
Okay, good.
yeah, I had about 10 good resumes together. I sourced maybe 100 different attorneys to get these 10 people interested. And once I got that call back, they just professionally ghosted me. They cut me out of the picture. That's probably an oxymoron. There's no such thing as professional ghosting. But they just got rid of me. Nothing illegal, just gross, unethical, and just really not a good feeling, especially because I had that
So if I can
relationship
put it
with
to
them.
so you had you had done your job and provided 10 resumes, hooked them up, and then they ghosted you?
Yeah.
They didn't hire your
And
people?
then they ghost me
Did they pay
in
you?
between rounds. No, you don't have to, as at the contingent level, you don't have to pay unless you make a hire. That's why I was saying they weren't even doing anything
Okay.
illegal.
Okay.
It's just it was awkward. It was
Right.
awkward. They just got rid of me, and they just did it like that. And I just kept on going about my way, and making some deals because the hiring had lifted. So I was doing really well, like very profitable. Things were going well, but I was blogging and video logging my experience starting in COVID-19. Starting
Okay.
up a business, legal issues of the day, and
Yeah.
especially I had some deaths from COVID-19. So I got into the whole origination rabbit hole, which I thought is definitely the best legal issue of the time. I could tell that my firm, that one firm that did it, I knew who they represented. They represent Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, and banking cartels, global bankers, and everything. And I also was doing some, searching into the origination. And all of a sudden, I saw this comment on a article that had a patent number on it saying this has been patented, and intellectual property is one of my forte areas. So I put in the number. Oh, and the comment said something like, this will be deleted, like write this down or something like that. So I wrote it down. I put it into Google, and patents are public knowledge. They're just kind of like, there's a lot of them. It's kind of like the Dewey Decimal System. You can't just look for, Bill Gates patents or something like that. There's just so many of them. But I put in the number, and it was it was essentially a recombinant. It was a Chapel Hill patent for what looks like a SARS-CoV-1 at Chapel Hill, North Carolina, while I was there for my undergrad. So it was early 2000s, and I was like, this is odd. It's my school, my alma mater, right? And I took that number. I ended up putting that number into Google, and I saw an out of the country person who had, it wasn't David Martin, it was somebody else who had been doing a little bit of this, patent dot to dot connecting and everything like that. So that's kind of how it started for me. When I have knowledge of patents, there's a couple of things. Not everybody, it's a kind of a nerdy thing, intellectual property. So I want to kind of explain for your viewers why this sets off red flags for people like David Martin or Karen Kingston. The thing about intellectual property patents is it gives you exclusive profitability. Some people just know about it from Shark Tank, right? It comes early in the process after like research and development. You want to make sure you got, that nobody rips you off or anything like that. But it's also nature can't be patented, right? So if the narrative is like, loose Wuhan bat, zoonotic plague, that kind of stuff, these are red flags. And really what I'm thinking is what makes you for profits, should break you. So people who say follow the money, that's true. But to forensically follow the money, you want to go to the infancy. And that's like what patents do for you. So that's kind of my beginning of my own, due diligence research into the origination of the follow the money, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. So you found this patent for a SARS, the SARS virus that we saw in what, 2005, 2006?
It was like 2001. So that patent, and you guys, there's a US PTO version and there's a world version. That patent is 7279327B2.
Yeah.
And thank you for putting my Twitter up there because I chronologically put the most egregious, gross ones. That one's also a WO patent. So world.
So hold
patents,
on. You're constantly putting really gross patents that you found up. That's how many you're finding. It's a constant stream.
So yes. So I took that one patent, I put it in, did more research, and I found some other ones. And I started to notice they were US based patents for the most part, which, implicating my favorite country and my favorite school, that just means, you're more righteous, you're not protecting, and I felt that, you see something, you say something, or you're a quote unquote not seer. I'm a third gen Holocaust survivor. I don't want to be a not seer. I want to showcase what I'm finding. Okay.
I've never heard that one. Not seer.
So yeah. I'm very proud of my heritage, and some supernatural stuff happened in my blog. I have my grandfather, his memoir, I digitized it. And, that opened up some supernatural doors because I asked the Father above, why, why the Holocaust when I was doing that. And I got an answer, and that might be for another show or anything like that. But I definitely got an answer.
And
I will tell you that I do. This is challenged it because being put in precarious situations, your faith does grow because, I'm still here talking to you, and I'm not behind bars or arrested a fifth time yet. So yes, my faith has grown.
We're getting to that next. Let's continue the where we were at. You found the SARS-CoV patent, and this led you to find others.
Yes,
and they're U.S. based. And what are you seeing in the patent?
So I want to let you know that the first page of patents are very telling. They're abstracts, and I'm not a doctor nor a lawyer. I just can read an abstract page and see important things like the date, that were 30 years before lockdown. I can see who's owning the patents, whether some of mine were my alma mater, some were the CDC transferring to the US government, which CDC is essentially part of. I was seeing, and I want to give this number out here. I was seeing the Rothschilds banking empire having a testing COVID-19, which is like the PVR cast. But the problem was it was called testing COVID-19 with a 2015 priority date.
What?
These are problems. These are exclusively problems.
What?
So the dates were, yeah, I'm going to try to share my screen right now, if that's possible.
Yes, it is. So, if are you viewing what you're viewing? Is it in a browser tab?
Yes,
While
it's a
we're
browser
working on
tab.
that, we're going to say bye bye to YouTube. Okay.